In this episode of Advisor Revelations, hear why one firm partnered with DPL after going RIA and which commission-free solutions the team uses to switch clients into lower-cost products while solving for retirement income.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Advisor Revelations podcast. Today, we are going to be chatting about commission-free 1035 exchanges, commission-free annuities, and how in the right situation, a 1035 exchange can benefit clients and advisors. Our guest today is Laura Powers, lead advisor at Strategic Financial Services. Their team has facilitated nearly 200 1035 exchanges for their clients since starting with DPL in the middle of 2018. Laura, that's quite impressive, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here today, Jonathan.
You are welcome. So before we start our discussion, tell us a little bit about yourself so our listeners can get familiar with you and your practice.
Sure. Well, I'm inherently a helper and a people person, so being the primary go-to for nearly 100 relationships just lights me up. I get to help people through some of their best times, but also through some of their toughest, particularly with our focus on lifetime partnerships. As a lead advisor, I work with our internal investment team and planning department to create goal-based financial plans for our clients. So when Alan Lease Jr. founded Strategic in 1979, it was a time when the industry's environment was primarily commission-driven, lots of broker-dealer firms. So fast forward to 1988 when Judy Sweet joined. She helped launch an investment management division to complement the planning group already in place. This opened the door for opportunities, including an asset-based fee structure, which is more transparent and, quite frankly, easier for clients to understand. When I joined Strategic in 2004, our asset-based business was growing, and we still had a portion of the business not under that model, including some legacy investment accounts, insurance, and, of course, annuities. We maintained that structure until a few years ago when we made the decision to break away and go full RIA. We wanted to have the freedom and independence that comes with being an RIA. In part, we also wanted to expand our professional network to partner with outside subject matter experts such as DPL to enhance service to clients, because this sets us up not only to do our best work for current clients, but also to engage new relationships and grow our business, which continues to be a focus for our team.
Thanks for sharing that and for the insight into both the firm and your career, Laura. We find that many advisors want to be independent and the freedom that comes with it, but they can find that transition to be extremely intimidating. Could you share how DPL enabled your firm to reach independence as an RIA?
Well, the initial question for us was, is this the right thing to do for our clients? Will going full RIA allow us to enhance the client experience? A core team conducted the research and got to work on vetting professional partners for each of those impacted areas. DPL was, of course, on our short list regarding annuities. So it's important to understand that Strategic has rather forward-looking leadership. Our CEO, Alan Lease III, makes it a practice to challenge our service model and have open conversations regarding what's working, what's not working, and identify ways to improve. Essentially, we found that we had a great experience model in place, but we could make it even better. And while, yes, the notion of going full RIA and all the work involved with getting there was intimidating, as I'm sure it is for any firm considering making the move, it was also exciting. It was exciting for us to envision what our service looks like for clients and our team on the other side. And then DPL stepped in with recommendations for each annuity and worked with us to develop a roadmap on how to approach this transition for each client.
So as you mentioned, you have just taken the 1035 exchange process and solution and just absolutely run with it. And that obviously takes a ton of work between reviewing your clients' current annuities and understanding how to align those assets with their current financial planning goals. I know that part of getting in contact with DPL was to help move as much business over as possible into the RIA model. Could you tell us what that process of reevaluating these client cases looked like and how DPL was able to support you?
It was important to us that we retain our existing business during the transition, as our clients mean everything to us. But we also wanted to become the advisor on annuities that were held away as part of their overall plan. The partnership with DPL allowed us to conduct over 200 1035 exchanges, wherein we were able to transition annuities for our clients, lower their cost in most instances, and allow Strategic to remain or become the advisor through a transparent asset-based pricing schedule. So this helped boost revenue while ultimately reducing overall costs to our clients. And the ability to then reinvest more into the business benefits our clients by enhancing the experience, the technology, and all of the talent that drives client success. Not only did DPL offer to step in to handle the administrative lift of these changes, but they also explained that they would walk alongside our advisors from the beginning. That meant they would provide strategic the tools to analyze our hundreds of annuities in detail, complete with individual client data reviews. DPL provided alternative solutions and coupled their recommendations with a cost comparison for each. That then set the table for strategic to explore DPL's feedback within the context of each client's unique plan and goals. And from there, our team communicated with the clients about their options, and with DPL, oftentimes you, joining those calls to help address any questions or concerns. Also, DPL made sure that the manner in which we conducted this process was entirely compliant and adhered to all New York State regulations. And with these requirements changing so frequently, it's become increasingly important to have a partner that knows exactly what needs to take place to get the job done the right way.
That's great. Yeah, we all love those New York State regulations and making sure that we abide by them all. So, Laura, when we were looking at a lot of the annuities, right, we went through and talked about it with each individual client, and we obviously focused on cost, which can be important, but we know that it's not always focused around cost. So outside of lowering the fees and the fee structures, moving from commission to commission-free annuities, what are other tips or what are other three key points that are important for a 1035 exchange?
You really want to make sure as a financial advisor that whatever a client has on their balance sheet makes sense for their plan. So number one, do they even need the annuity at this point? Because there are options to exit annuities if necessary. You also want to look at what does the annuity provide for the client in terms of liquidity, in terms of future cash flow. And you also want to take a look at how does this annuity potentially play into the client's estate plan? What are the goals for the annuity? Is it just cash now while the client is living, or is it something that they want to utilize as part of legacy planning for that next generation?
And through that process, did you discover any annuity solution specifically that you weren't necessarily thinking about originally that was impactful?
Yeah, actually, there were several solutions that popped up during the due diligence process. Again, as I mentioned, we had to look at each case very carefully and really re-examine at a granular level, what is every client trying to achieve? So, I mentioned going back to when the business was first established, it was, 40 years ago. Not to say that the annuities that we hold today were opened 40 years ago, but some of them do have some tenure. And what you find is over that period of time, the situation changes. So somebody could, for example, have had a variable annuity. It met their goals, 10, 15 years ago, but life has changed. Cash flow needs have changed. They're looking for something different as they're nearing retirement, right? Maybe they want some more security on that cash flow strategy. So something that DPL was instrumental in helping us with was identifying opportunities to do the 1035 exchange, staying within the variable annuity space, but adding on additional features such as the guaranteed income. And if you have the right timeline ahead of you, you pay for that privilege of having that guaranteed step up and the guaranteed benefit to calculate your cash flow once you turn it on. But it's also nice because it gives you that period of time that you can continue to grow that security, if you will. That gives clients a real peace of mind, particularly as they're becoming a little bit more conservative down the road.
So, Laura, many advisors have clients with annuities, but they may not even know that those annuities exist, right? Whether they're asset managers or they've kept the annuities at arm's length or have never really asked about it because they didn't have a good solution. There's a ton out there and there's a lot of opportunity for advisors. So, looking for a little bit of advice here from you, with having facilitated so many 1035 exchanges, what tips do you have for advisors for introducing the 1035 exchange project to their clients and creating a roadmap for actually reviewing the annuities and finding better commission-free alternatives?
I mean, it's a time-consuming initiative, but one that's well worth it, not just for the client, but also for the firm looking out here. You take it right back to basics. There's a difference between being a, quote, money manager and being a financial advisor, right? And really looking holistically at a client's whole financial world. You look at, okay, what is this client's entire balance sheet. So we're talking cash in the bank, currently held managed accounts, held away accounts, and annuities, right? So having that conversation opens the door to be able to see what other assets are out there, not just so you can develop the best plan for them, but so you can also potentially capture some of those assets and be able to bring more value to your client through that. But once you've identified where those annuities may lie, that's when you need to work with somebody like DPL to start strategizing, okay, well, what are the other options out here for this? Because it's not as simple as just saying, oh, I have a variable annuity, I'm going to 1035 exchange it to a commission-free variable annuity. I mean, you aren't doing the client a service if you're not really analyzing the data and making sure that you're providing them the best solutions possible.
So one thing that new advisors in particular joining DPL always have questions about are the client conversations. So I want to talk a little bit about that. How did clients feel about exchanging their annuities? Were there any concerns? What did that upfront conversation look like?
Annuities can be some of the most complicated investment products. So explaining the design of a current annuity, presenting a recommendation for change, and then discussing what that process entails is quite the challenge. That said, our service to clients includes education and communication. We want to help people understand what we are doing for them and why, but in a manner that makes sense to them. For the most part, our clients asked great questions and ultimately decided to move forward with the transition, having a clear understanding of the benefits to them and cost impact. DPL joined in to help facilitate some of the more complicated cases and always explained things so that the client could confirm their understanding, which is so important. Our approach was successful because we worked together to keep it simple for the clients while making sure they understood the recommendation. Also, we didn't shy away from discussing the costs. We provide a great service at a competitive price, and we stand by it.
I think those client conversations are always the most insightful and impactful for an advisor. So when you and Strategic joined DPL, we went through a lot of products, right? And we still bring new products to the platform today. So when you were learning about DPL's commission-free solutions, were there any new products you discovered that could provide new benefits to your clients that you didn't initially know about?
I would say yes, new products and new solutions. So actually, I recall working with you, Jonathan, when a client unfortunately passed away. There were multiple contracts and required minimum distributions at play. DPL helped us to develop a plan to consolidate several annuities through the 1035 exchange strategy and streamline the distribution program for the beneficiaries. There was an annual cost savings of around 1%, and it provided access to institutionally priced funds and a broader investment selection. And that tax-efficient stretch feature was also incorporated as well for the non-qualified annuities.
Yeah, that's always one of the most eye-opening parts, I would say, of a conversation within advisors when they learn how annuities are passed on to the next generation and some of the unique planning strategies we can provide. That's great. So we've talked a lot so far about 1035 exchanges and how they've helped you retain your clients and increase firm AUM. What other benefits do these solutions provide? How have clients been able to benefit from these exchanges to commission-free annuities?
As a financial advisor, I can assure you that no client's plan is ever static. An advisor should never implement a goal-based plan for their client and just leave it on a shelf. As their lives change, their goals and cash flow shift, and the 1035 exchange strategy provides options. It opens the door for clients to explore alternatives that may not only save them money, but may also be more closely in line with where they are in their plan. In some cases, the diligence process resulted in turning on the guaranteed income feature within the annuity, allowing the client to enjoy a benefit that they had long been paying for to build up within their contract. And the commission-free annuity environment has reduced barriers for us as financial advisors. This has increased our confidence to incorporate annuities into a client's plan where appropriate, because we know that the flexibility exists now for us to help our clients make changes along the way as needed.
Would you mind sharing a client case of how a 1035 exchange and using the annuity has made a big impact for a client?
Sure. There's many examples of how the 1035 exchange strategy has benefited our clients and helped our team provide an even better service. But one that stands out is a client who had nearly 1 million of annuities within their portfolio. We had been servicing the larger relationship for probably longer than I have been with Strategic, and the client had always wanted to retain these 2 annuities for peace of mind. So we partnered with DPL to explore alternatives, and it was discovered that not only could we maintain the current annuity features, for the client and set up Strategic with the ability to manage the assets, but they would also enjoy an annual cost reduction of somewhere around $4,000. Additionally, this exchange would allow us to have the assets feed into our portfolio reporting system and our planning program, which we use interactively with all of our clients to ensure that their overall plan health is on track. Discussions are actually underway now with that client for that recommendation, and I look forward to partnering with DPL to make it happen.
And I think one of the other eye-opening, maybe it's all big revelations here, but that's why we have the podcast name, is seeing those annuities show up in the performance reporting, in the financial planning software. It's hugely impactful for clients to be able to see that. So that's great. Thank you for sharing. You mentioned earlier about how strategic financial services grew rather quickly, and that means not only getting clients up to speed, but your team up to speed as well. How has DPL helped with educating advisors?
Yes, Strategic's business model is seeing solid growth, and we have plans to continue that trajectory. Of course, you must have the right people in the right seats to support growth. So we expanded our advisor team to include 5 associate advisors. These young professionals are part of Strategic's advisor development program, which is designed to help them develop the critical skills and knowledge necessary to become a successful financial advisor. They partner directly with lead advisors such as me to learn the business. Knowing that we have a trusted partner who is an expert on these products is a tremendous resource for our entire advisor team, especially for our newer advisors who are really at the onset of their career. We can rely on DPL to not only help analyze existing annuities and explore alternatives, but we can call on their team to clarify changes in regulations and ensure we remain educated on the annuity environment. This strengthens our ability as advisors to bring the best solutions to clients and ensure we stay up to date and competitive.
Always looking to differentiate yourself from all the other firms out there. That's awesome. So what would you say was your biggest aha moment after partnering with DPL, and how these commission-free solutions could really be a game changer for your firm?
Going through the initial diligence process was eye-opening. DPL helped us to see the range of annuity solutions for full RIA firms and identified the held-away assets for which we could become advisor, enhancing how we service those clients. Personally, my biggest aha moment was when I realized that DPL was not just offering to handle the administration of this work, but truly wanted to partner with us to bring our annuity expertise to a whole new level for each of our clients. Our relationship continues to be one where we can turn to your team as a sounding board and collaborate on not only 1035 exchanges, but all the intricate features these products offer.
I just want to really thank you for joining us today and sharing your story and sharing, how Strategic Financial Services has partnered with DPL. I don't know if you realize this, but you're actually coming up on a 3-year anniversary with DPL already. So it's been a long-standing partnership, and I look forward to many, many years in the future working together. But thank you for being here. And anything else that you want to share before we go?
Just that. Thank you again for having me, Jonathan. This has been awesome. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. And for any firm considering breaking out to be full RIA, it's a lot of work to push through, but once you're on the other side, you won't look back. And while Strategic has achieved full RIA status, we will absolutely continue to work with DPL to bring new solutions to clients throughout our lifetime partnership with each of them.
Thanks for listening. To hear more episodes, go to dplfp.com and subscribe on Apple, Google, and Spotify for updates.